Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so let's start recording here. Okay. And then we'll be moving in and out of what's going on. All right, now. Yeah. So we're going to be using SketchUp. If you've gotten it record, if you've downloaded it, raise your hand. You got SketchUp 2015. All right, great. We'll keep rolling. And this, this is if you go to download it. I'm a teacher. You being a student on that. You want SketchUp Make? Don't do the Pro. We got a question here. Let me go figure out what this is about. Yes. We are going to need it today. So if you need to go to your desktop, Daniel, let's go to the desktop. All right. Brian, we're going to be doing SketchUp. Download if you haven't gotten it already. Some of the topics we're going to knock off right off the bat. We'll be doing this today, probably Monday, going to Tinkercad. Then we'll be rolling into OpenSCAD as well. Okay? There's another one called Inkscape, and that's when we get the laser cutter next year. That's what we'll use a lot of. Because that's really a two-dimensional program, and that's what we're going to use. So if you'd be so kind, Daniel, let us know when you get back from your desktop so I know you're on your desktop and we're ready to go. Brian, you're just joining us. Make sure you go ahead and have SketchUp 215 ready to go. All right, so there you go, Daniel. All right, and of course, I'm showing SketchUp 214 here. Sorry, we'll get 215. Now, one thing I do want to show you in SketchUp, if you go to a template now, this is kind of new for SketchUp that I was really very pumped about. So I'm going to get out of SketchUp just for, if I go in there, I can change my template and you can have a maker's template. All right, let me do this real quick. All right, let me go out here and quit. All right, then we go back in your SketchUp. Let me go over here. Oops. I'm going to go back up to SketchUp 215. It's going to ask for my templates. Choosing a template. I'm showing you right there a template. If you go down there, they actually have a 3D millimeter for makers. Looks like this. And then we go choose template. And we did. Okay, start using SketchUp. And there it is. Which is kind of cool. It's basically a replicator to Xbox. So you know right off the bat where you stand on it. Now, we're not going to use that today, but we will later. So I'm going to quit SketchUp, go back up to SketchUp 215, and I'm going to choose a template. I'm going to use, I like millimeters, and because, one, we do a lot of that with the 3D printer. Start using SketchUp. And there he is. Okay? Now, all right, so let's go through, bear with me one second. Let's talk about this axis, and we're going to pick up some different things to look at. We lost our guy. Please, please, where'd you go, mister? All right, this is hilarious. No file. No. There he is. All right, if you look at this axis, we're going to start drawing lines on it. What I want you to have is two things you should have up here at all times. Go under, first of all, you've got view. Make sure you go 2 palettes, large tool set. That's this thing right here. This is very useful. All right. Then, if you go under Windows, you would think it'd be under Help, but it's under Windows, Instructor. That's this right over here. All right. And so what this will do is give you multiple features. It'll show you right there as we're starting to do things. So if I go to Draw, I go up here, it shows Line Tool. All right? And what can I do to draw a line tool? So like hit L for line. All right. Here's one thing, you don't click and drag on these things. So there's a line on an axis. It's blue. Might not be obvious. It's a little bit harder to see. But if I get along my outlines, hit escape once I want to. If I want to draw along this axis, it's red. Along that green axis, green. Stay in those axes or you'll get floating things. Because right off the bat, it's different. This green line is X. Let me go back to the pointer. All right. If I hit L for line, it comes off. If I hit space, it brings the pointer back, just so you know that. But what I want you to see is, this throws people. It threw me anyways. This is green line is the y-axis. This red line is the x-axis. The blue line is z. So this is almost like he's standing in your house. Now I'm going to go up here to the orbit key, that O key, and see how it changes. This is how it would look in a normal way we draw math. There's the x-axis, there's the z-axis coming out at us. Excuse me, that's the y-axis, and there's your x-axis and the z-axis coming out from you. Is that clear to everybody? This is how we draw something on a board, it looks that way. But in this program, and I'm doing this by hitting the, if I hit the space key, it goes away. If I hit the orbit key, O, it comes up. The much you can start learning using speed keys, you'll be much happier. I hit the space key, get rid of that, and hit L to draw a line. And you don't, here's the thing that'll mess you up in SketchUp, because you're used to drawing and dragging. Somebody figured out that was kind of, see how I'm drawing this down, that blue axis, it's running right along with this. So what this dot allows us to do, if I hit O for orbit, all right, I spin around, I'm all in that axis, I'm all on this axis. This keeps everything in an axis. If not, things start floating around. You think something in X when it's not really. So let's start off here. So I'm going to hit L for line. I'm going to go out endpoint. See how it's red? Click down to here. Stay in green. Look how it's at an angle. If I go off there, I'm in the blue. But so if I stay in the green, okay, but I want to be in the blue, so I'm going to hit blue. And then I'm going to connect over here. But notice that's red, 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 red. There it is. Now I'll hit O for orbit. And there I am, right in the middle of this. If it doesn't go gray like this, it means yours not working. So get everybody, go ahead and play with that. Get a red axis, green axis, y-axis. Please do that if you would be so kind. While I do that, I'm going to pull this up. All right. We just learned, all right, let's keep rolling now. We just learned how to put up the tool. There's the instructor. It has everything in there. Large tool set. Just talked about that. That's this bad boy right here. There's a selector tool. Line tool. That's what we've just been playing with. And that allows you to draw lines. Click once. Do not click and drag to start the line. So there's the blue axis right here. The green axis, green, red axis. Any questions? Raise your hands. You know, you click, then click again. Now you try it. All right. So we're going to build a square. Solid shape. So let me go ahead and play with that a little bit. All right, let me go back over here to show you what I'm talking about. And this we want to go ahead and shrink down. There we go, pull that back up. All right, so when we go to draw a square, hit the space bar. I'm going to get something else over there. I'm going to choose that. I don't need this, so I'll get rid of this. Then I'm going to hit L for line. All right, I'm going to run it in that blue axis. Click once, let it come with you. I'm in that red axis. Go up here, blue. And then, now, look at this. Looks like you're all set, right? But it's not that great. And so what happens is you're not really in an axis you thought you were. So this is why this looks to me like this is right in the same plane. It isn't. So let's do it again. All right, let's hit L for line. Let's try to get in some axes here. There's red. See how it's red? Click again. This is on the blue axis. Doesn't look like it is, does it? Click once on the red. See how that? And then it also starts to data down. It gives you what's called an inference. Back on the blue axis. So we're on the endpoints. And what did I just do wrong there? There we go. Here's push and pulling back and forth. Hit O for orbit. See, there it is. It's still, though, not on that axis. As this, it's along here, but it's not along there. See how it's look? They all look like they're, when you look from this direction, they all look like they're together, but they're really not. All right? So hit line here again. That's on the green axis, blue axis. And that red axis. All right. See, guys, how we're getting different drawings? Now, let's play with push and pull. All right, I got that orbit there that I'm looking around with. I hit P for push. All right, so I go there. That's why we don't use pencil, by the way. See how that's pulling out? That's pretty funky, isn't it? All right, let's go down here. Let's hit a space bar. So that didn't do what you thought. This was pulling out, but we were up here because this is what when we indicated. We'll click once, you get an edge. Double click, you get this edge. Triple click, you get the whole thing. So if you just want to face, double click. All right, and then hit push or pull, and I can pull that out. Again, let me hit the space bar again. I'm going to double click this face. Doesn't get the whole thing. Triple click if I want the whole thing. I hit push or pull. Let's hit orbit. Let's see what we got going there. See? All right. Want you to go ahead and do that. Raise your hand when you feel like you can draw a rectangle. Raise a line when you can push and pull it out, please. Raise your hand once you're doing that. Sweet. And you can do things here. If you hit the space bar, double click on that, hit push or pull. Now I can pull it out that way. And not surprisingly, double click there, hit push or pull it up. If I triple click, watch what happens. I select the whole thing. You don't want to do that. Watch when I do that. The whole thing gets, it depends on which side. It isn't even like that. You can get some weird effects sometimes when you do that. If you click once, you're going to get an edge. And you push or pull that. Now you got that top of that edge here, but let me do this. We'll come back to it later where you see it matters more. I'm going to space bar. Let me get here. So I'm pulling that up or down right along there. All right. So one gets an edge. We'll play with edges in a little bit, what we can do with them. And then one gets a side, two gets you a side surface, all four corners. And then a triple click gets the whole object. And you triple click when you want to move things. So like, I go up to this icon up here and go to move. And move this whole object. Look, I'm following that line. So I'm moving along the blue, so I stay in that blue axis. Clearly Command Z will drop me down if I didn't have it. So, everybody, let's get to that point right there. Let's get it so you can draw it. Use the push and pull to make it bigger and smaller. Raise your hand once you've done those things and we get on to the next deal. While you're doing it, after you've drawn it, go ahead. That orbit key gives you that 360. If you do O and hit the shift key, you pan it. And then if you use the mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So escape key here. All right. So if I hit the O key, there I am. Wait a second. There I am, right? And that moves me around like this. If I hit the shift key and orbit key, I get that hand thing. So it stays in one place. I move myself all over there. And if I put a mouse in, I pull my mouse out. And if I go back up to my tool set up here, I think I can go back and remember. All right, let's see, view. There it is. Sorry, let's go ahead and pull this in. Let's zoom it in. Let's do it. All right, let me see here. That's putting everything right close to me. Let me go ahead and see. Let me go. Where's my zoom on? My mouse button on this thing is not working great. There's the guy. Yay! And if I click on it like that, you see the box behind him. Let me do one thing up here. If I can get the view zoom, let me see. It doesn't let me do it that way either, too. That's a little bit annoying with this program. I don't like. Let me hit. It likes, like my mouse wants to always go forward. And then you can go. Let me go back and look. That's as if you're walking around on it. All right, there we go. Hit orbit. Let me go ahead and pull this around. All right, so we're back over here. I'm going to shift. I'm going to pan it over like that. And that's the orbit right there, but there's my, wait a minute, that's not quite right. This kind of puts you back in your perspective right here using this little icon glass there. There's your pan. This will pull everything in by using that red square around the hourglass. Okay, but let's get back on what we're supposed to be teaching. All right, we'll come back to some of that stuff later. Now, H changes the pan tool as well. All right, let's go back over here. Oh, let me get the pan tool here. Oh yeah, and there H gets you the pan. Thank you very much, Karen. Thank you, sir. All right. Now let's go through some more of the tools. A rectangle tool, you got circle tool, and again, clicking once selects a line or a face, twice 2D, 3 the whole object. So once, twice, twice. And there's a move. Let's go back up though and see a rectangle and circle. Okay. There's a rectangle. If I go back over here, I'm just going to do this guy again. I just find it easier just to do File, New. All right, so I'm going to go up here. They're up here as well. Here's a rectangle. Click on one edge, click on the other. And honestly, if you know it's going to be a cube or something, you hit P for push. There it goes. And you can do clever things like this. Take a rectangle, put it inside there. Space it. Got that face. You can do a push or pull off that. All right. You can pull the outside in. You can do all kinds of funky stuff. Little shelf there. All right. All right. Now, that's that. Let's go to, if that was the rectangle, let's do the circle. Click here, pull it out. Space, push, pull. There it is. Okay. So go ahead, play with that. Try your scroll so you're always getting in the right view. It's easy to get yourself lost. I'm going to go ahead and select this whole area. And it zooms me in just the whole area, not on one guy. So that's kind of a neat feature. And this puts you back where you were. All right. So go ahead, everybody, to hit that for a few minutes, and we'll go some more in a second. Okay. Get my go-go juice going, little Diet Mountain Dew action happening. All right. Now, there's the circle tool. Again, we just pulled it up, double-clicked. I can't say that in many enough times, but there it is. Always move on the axis to avoid floating objects. Let's go back here. All right. Now, let's say we got this object. So spacebar. I'm going to grab that. And say I want to move that. So I'm going to triple click that. See how it's all blue? And I want to move it. Let's take a look at where this is before I start doing it. I have to look at it all times. All right, so say I want to move this object. And I want to keep it along. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do this. Hit the space bar, double click on this thing. And if you hit delete, it goes away. So nothing else, it's good to triple click so if you want to delete something. So there it is. So say I want to move this. So I'm going to hit the space bar again. Triple. All right. Now I hit the move key. There's that little diagonal. I'm going to grab it by that end. I'm going to start pulling it. I want to make sure, see how it's in that green axis? You can barely see it, but make sure it's running along that axis. Now when I do this, it's where I want everything, it's where it's not floating. It's not a foot suddenly up above the ground. I've just moved it closer to him. All right? So that's an important, again, here I hit the orbit. I'm pulling that around and hit H, as Gary just said. That's the fast to put it, but we want to stay in there. Let's say we're going to move it again. I hit spacebar, triple click it, hit M for move. It's also this up there's move, so whatever your fancy is. Like I say, once you start using the keyboards, you're not going to want to change. So there's red. See what I did here? I only moved, did I move it triple? No. So look at the look I got now. Oh man, I can't believe it. So I hit Command Z. Now let's do it the right way. Triple click it. There we go. Now I hit M for move. I grab it. I'm going to follow right along that red axis. As long as I stay on that red axis, I'm going to move just right along it. Now watch when I hit orbit. It's still, I haven't raised it up. It's the same level. So stay on those colors or you'll be going yourself crazy. I speak from experience. So those of you wondering how I got crazy, that's because I didn't do that. Because say I grab this thing. Let me go ahead. Now I'm going to hit move again. Now I'm going to move it, but I don't move it on that axis. I just move it the way I think it should move. Now I'm not quite where he was. All right. I'm going to go back here to Control Z. There we go. So you just got to be very careful. You can do it. I'm not saying you can't and won't do it. And if you're really good at it, you're set. All right. All right. All right. Now, let's do, I'm going to get rid of this for, well, let's move this over here a little bit. We'll pull it up if we need it. Okay. I'm going back and forth on this. Now, here's what we're going to do. Wait a minute. I've got this guy up here. That's not what I wanted. Oh, no. Where'd you go? Mr. Bill. That was long before you all. All right. Here we go. There's a move. Rotating around the center. This is kind of a cool one for flipping things around, and you folks with a little more artistic ability than I have can really start to play with this. You double click on the rotating around the center. Double click on the face center. Then, all right, let's do one at a time here. So let's go back to my guy here. Let's get rid of this one. Don't save. Here we go. Let's go back, and then we have, I think, another one here. Okay. Don't save. If I don't, I'll just open recent. Well, I didn't save them, so I didn't open them. Whoops. Let's do another one. All right, now I'm just going to take this rectangle, put one edge there, pull it out. I got a square when that diagonal forms. Great. I'm going to hit push or pull it up. And by the way, we'll get into the distances, but you can get very accurate with this. All right, so I had move before. Move was right up here, right? Then you have rotate. I think rotate is Q. I don't know why I would remember that. There it is Q. Now I'm on the face of it, so I click once. Then I'm going to click once there. And then click once over here. See how I've rotated that? Kind of made it a twisted angle. That's kind of funky. Now if I did that, now let's go back to space. Now we got all three. Let's rotate it. Hit Q again. Put it. Anchor it, click once, and then I'm going to turn it like 45 degrees at an endpoint, and I can turn it. to that endpoint. Now, honestly, it's a totally rectangle. It's kind of hard to tell I did that. Then I can hit Shift up the endpoint, pull it up there. And now I'm pulling it off. See, I'm pulling it right off that endpoint. So I can get very accurate turns. See? Okay, and needless to say, you can do some funky stuff if you do this. I'm just do that face. I'm going to do a Q again, right in the center. Then I'm going to twist this. See how I get that kind of action going? See? It's all over the place, kind of funky. Funky monkey. All right, now let's go ahead and hit Command Z. All right, everybody, any questions on using that technique? If you understand how to do that, raise your hand. The move, twisting just one side, twisting the whole thing, those are all very useful things when you're sitting there as we start to group something and build. All right? All right, now let's go back to our little lesson plan there. Rotating. We rotated, face center, around a point, oriented, shift, hold shift, and click. Oh, by the way, if you start drawing lines, you'll see it infers. It'll tell you, hey, you should stop at this point. And it's just there to help you. It's assuming you want to do that. Now, let's do shape and size. This is always helpful. All right? And this one will throw you. So let's show this because I think this is of real value. All right? Say I want to make a rectangle here. I start drawing it. What you want to do, and it's hard to see, let me get this stuff out of the way. I can't really do it with this right in my way right now. I'm going to move this over to here. Or let me get it down like this. Structure out of the way. Now I'll move it here. Down at this corner, let me do this. Sorry guys, I gotta get this to shrink a little bit. That was more than I wanted to. Bear with me one second. I've totally got this thing. There he's back up. All right, sorry. Now let me go down here and see if I can grab it. But see right down, I don't know if you can see the edge of my screen right there is dimensions. So if I draw another one out, all I do is type in there 200, let's go 2500, 250, comma, 250. And press enter. I'll get a perfectly 250 by 250, which it looks rectangular, doesn't it? But it's not. All right, again, you don't move your mouse down there. That's what will throw you. So let's do another one. I'm going to draw another rectangle. I'm going to hit spacebar. I'm going to hit R for rectangle. Click it out, start my point there. Then just go like that, and then go down at the bottom. Don't move your mouse down there. Go 800, comma, 1600. And there it is. The gray iron, any of that to me looks square when it's really not as square as you, but it's not, see? That's why we're trying to look at things in 3D and we're drawing them in a 2D space. It kind of messes it up. Notice if I move my mouse to type down there, it will not work. Believe me, I think I was teaching this for the second time. I forgot that, and I was just very frustrated. I couldn't get it to work, and I was thinking it was software. I was thinking it was everything but me. All right? So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, now, All right, you can make polygons, which are clever. It's the number of sides and shapes of this. So let's go right here. So I'm going to go, if this was a circle up here, that's C, polygon. You draw it out there, and you can put in there like 16, which made that was the radius. So let me go ahead and see. That's making you hit Control Y. I think it should. Let me do rectangle. All right. So let's go over here. Can't see it down there, but you can do things. All right, and again, if you do push or pull with this, well, I'm on the wrong one. See, you got to make sure you're on the right one. Push. There it is. All right, now let me go over here and see if we're getting anybody. It works if I click it. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Daniel. Help me out there, buddy. Let me move over here. Any other questions? All right, now go back up here. So you can put the sides down on the bottom of these. And I can't show you, so you're not going to see, but you can type in sides down there. And then you enter the radius. So, you know, we'll get to arcs here in a second. There it is, sides. See if I can do this. Let me go ahead right there. Power the polygon. See, down there it has sides. So if I put down 12, and I put down the radius at 500, there it is. There's 500. So, and that has 12 sides. You could do it that way. So let's try another one. So we go back up here. I'm going to tell right. See, it's already 12-sided. I can make this. You can go up to like 26 or 24 if I remember right, and it doesn't much. Go 3 sides. Do 200, comma 200. We just do 3. Do a point, and then set the radius. So 3 doesn't really do a whole lot. It's not really quite as accurate as you would think. So you can't make it like a triangle on that. All right? So let me be real clear. There's 2 steps to that. You are going to click on the radius and say how many sides you want. I'm going to say I want a better looking circle. So I'm going to do 18 sides. Then once I click it wherever I want it, I'm going to start pulling it out. I can tell the radius. And I'm going to go 2,000. There it is. And clearly I can hit P for push or pull. But remember, I have that mark, so you got to go back there. I just did it again. Now hit P or push, and there you go. And you can see all the sides on this. So you can make killer Roman Colosseum columns this way, no worries. All right. Changing the number of sides doesn't affect the shape. Yeah, it does. You get a cleaner look than this. See how those shapes are? Look at this one. The more sides, the more circular it is. That's why I think like 24, 26 it doesn't, but you put the one side on there. All right. Now arcs. Click for a start point, click for an end point, then move the mouse to bend it. All right? So what does that really mean? Well, check this out. So let's say we're going to do an arc. I'm going to do another rectangle. Let's get down here a little bit. Let me hit my O for orbit. All right, I'm going to hit P for push or pull. There, again, I didn't touch this side, so I got to double click there. P for push pull. I'm going to pull it up here. All right, now, so let's say I want to do an arc. There's an arc. All right. There's on my face. Now I can come all the way across to here. And there it is. And what you can do, and which I didn't do a very good job, if I did my time, we can delete that line and work on it. So this is a little bit different than they've been doing these in the past, in my mind. So let's go ahead and all right, there it is. I'm going to get ready to do this in a second here. All right, I'm going to go, I've got my arc key beyond the face. There's one endpoint. I'm going to put it to this endpoint, which I don't know why it's moving me there, but try that again. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, let's try it again. All right, that's the midpoint. And I'm going to stay on this axis so I can go farther down. Boom. Now let's change this to arc. Let's try it up here again. And now on the edge, there's the midpoint. I'm going to come down off the midpoint. Stay on that blue axis to stay straight. I'm clicking on this. That's one. Until I click right on this edge point, right till I get that green. There it is. Perfect arc off that. See? And now what you can do is something clever like this. Take your space bar, double click on that, and push P or pull, and pull it right out. Boom. Pretty neat, huh? And you can do things like this. If you don't like that line anymore, hit space. No, let's get on the line. I'm just on that line. Hit the line, I can delete it and it'll go away. So I can clean off all the lines. Just go, click once on the line, hit delete. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Try that again. Nope, try that. Let's go back over here. Let's see if I get this one over here. Can I take it off of here? That might be because it was a push or pull. Let me try this. There we go. There we go. Now what I want to do is get over here. I want to get this guy and that one thing we just did in the picture. So I'm going to take this and get those two. Now I've got them both in the picture. Find it interesting. Let me see one more time here. Can I do that? Nope. Because I did a push and pull on that. Apparently it doesn't like that idea. That wasn't the original part. Now I can click on that, go to color, and add colors to this. So if I wanted to add like yellow to it, there you go. So a nice yellow. All right, so there we got an arc, which is a little bit different what they've done in the past. You used to just pull a line off of it. Here's a 2-point arc on the face. Click on that endpoint. Now you can pull this, and you can pull it any which way. So let's hit escape. Let me show you another way to do this. So say I'm going to go back to a line here. I'm drawing a line. I'm going to wait for the midpoint. I'm going to come down here. So I just put that line in there to help me draw my arc. All right. So there's a 2-point arc right there. Let's get this on edge. And then I can pull this out even. So see how that arc's even coming out on that? It's kind of a cool effect. You can also do this with it. And in fact, let me show you that like this. Here's a 2-point arc. Click on start, click on endpoint, move it to bend. So let's start another, this 2-point arc right there. So let's go to, again, let's go to midpoint. I want to try to get that. And then over here. And then move it, pull it up and then up. So say I wanted to put that there. Okay. And what's cool about this, we can, again, change that back to a spacer and pick that as a pointer. And see that area's coming in and out? Well, now we can pull or push that in and put a little ridge on there. And you can do the other side that way, space. Pull or push. All right. I don't know what I'm trying to achieve there, but I'm getting it. And then I believe I'll be able to do this. Let's see if I can. I can. I delete that. Double click on this. Push or pull. Okay, it's not going to let me pull out that much. Here we go. Choo choo. Oh, you like that special sound effect, guys. So you can start carving and cutting away, and if you're a better artist than me, which is plenty of people are, you can really take this to an extreme. All right? Any questions so far on this? See over here. All right, we got people have come up. Question. All right, let me get to that question. I'm putting everybody's hands down. Let me know. Do you have a question? Raise your hand. All right. Now, so we just did arcs, and then arc tangents allow you to chop off things. And so you can use that to soften the edges of squares, and then we can do a, so let me give you that deal. Let me do this. Well, that's basically what I was doing with this curved off of here. So let me hit this. Let me shift and pan that over. So here's a perfect example when the pan. All right, so now I'm going to hit space, push or pull. Let me pull this down a little bit. Whoa. All right, so I'm going to push or pull, hit orbit, turn around, and if I want to do it, I can take an arc, double arc like that, put an edge here, edge there, tangent to the edge, and then we can do that, space it, like that, and then you can do things like, I deleted it off there. We're going to do follow me, but you can kind of start getting it where we're going to go with this. Hit P for push. All right. And so you can clean it up like that. And there's a follow me tool that we'll learn Monday. But see that? So that cleans that square up, makes it a softer edge. All right. Let's see any questions on that. But I think SketchUp is particularly good for big things, and for if you wanted to lay out and play with it, you could really, I know somebody who's built one of those mini houses. Micro houses are all the rage now, trying to get as much livable space and, you know, in like a 600, they'll even do it in less than that. They'll do it in like a 200 square foot place. Everything's super well thought. Their idea is you can build your house, you pay for it as you go along, so when you're done, your house is done. You're not buying anything more. You don't have a mortgage. And they can be trailered, so you can pick it up and move it, which I know sounds like a trailer park house, but these things are super nice. And it's a new way of just thinking. I think it's a real exercise in the maker community about thinking about what do you really need in a house. I also think it's a reaction to some of these McMansions you see that are huge, but really, how much space do two people meet? I'm very nice friends. The whole 9 yards I met, and they're new friends and everything. And I think that's like the house is 7,600 square feet, and there's 3 of them. So and hey, to each his own. So this is a response back to that. Okay. All right, let's go back down to here since we still have some more time. So that was arctangents. We just said softens the edge off that. You can add comments to this, and depending on what kind of text you do, some will stay with you in the 3D, some don't. It's kind of a cool feature, and there's the 3D objects. We'll get to that in 1 second. Now I'm going to show you the follow. We may get to follow me today. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Whoops. Let's pull this back down. All right, so say I wanted to put text on there. Let's go ahead and let's do my view. Oh, man, that's not what I want. There we go. View, tool palette, large tool set. There it is. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here's what's kind of cool about this. You have different tools for measuring things. The text tool, say you click on this corner right here, and you pull it up here. You can write in here, this is the beginning of commenting, beginning of using, SketchUp. All right, this is the beginning of using SketchUp, right? Now here's what's cool about it when you use it this way. Wherever I go, this will flip. So wherever I mark that, no matter if I'm over here, I come from behind it, guess what? It's always moving so I, as the user, can see it, which is a pretty cool feature. See that? Now, the 3D, if you go to 3D, not so much. So we're going to click on that. Here is 3D text. All right. Place. We'll put it right here. There it is. Now, when I go around this one, it's not there, but it is kind of got a good feature on it. All right. And you're not surprisingly that 3D text can make it pretty easy for you to do something on a 3D printer and print it off that. All right. Any questions about this now? All right. We'll go into making spheres, follow me, then combining things. We'll finish that up next week. And then keep going with the 3D printing. Charlotte's out here Tuesday. I'm at Harrisburg Thursday. I believe Raleigh will be, let me see, Raleigh was last Saturday. So yeah, Raleigh will be back up again, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Okay? Any other questions? Let me ask you this. How many people have used 3D SketchUp to do something for class or to do anything in it? Hand raised. There's somebody. Let me go over here. All right, cool. What did you guys use with it? I got Daniel Guerin saying they have. What have you used to do with it? I have one lab that just unfortunately takes too long. I've thought about doing where you guys try to design your own little storage space, and then we use fiberboard to make it. After you design it, we use the SketchUp to come out with different ideas. You've got this much volume. What can you make? How would you design it to store your stuff? Oh, you built a shed for work? Very nice, Daniel. All right. Very nice. Okay. Any other questions of what we're doing? I don't want to do the follow me. It's almost 5, almost 6 o'clock. So I'd rather stop at this high note. We'll come back and we'll hit it some more next week. All right? And we'll start using 3D printers when you come to lab. I have right now 3 working great. Got 4 or 5 that if it's a small thing will print fine. And we will get it. And I got to find out. I think I have another person supposed to commit 2 more 3D printers for us. So we've got lots and lots of 3D printers. Okay. If there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and stop this webinar. All right. Nothing else. Okay. Take care, guys.